Yeah, to clarify, we are on the live version of the game right now. Not a lot of carbon going on. I mean, it's like carbon's really weird, this game. I wonder if... wonder what we can do with this information. We might be able to make interesting things happen this time. We'll just have to see. Well, let's see what happens. Aluminum's a little weird in that there's a patch of it right in the middle of everything. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Scavenger colony found.
Scientific colony found.
Don't worry, we'll have this outpost off the ground in no time.
Alright, now I think I'm actually patient for a moment. I could grab this aluminum, but I don't really want it.
Scientific colony
So we'll just wait. We'll just wait for a little bit, and that's okay. Go ahead and grab, actually, the aluminum that I need right now. That way it's secured. Make sure I've got cash on hand for this guy. There you go. And we'll try and work with that. I was worried about, oh man, is that really going to beat me there? That's really frustrating. Oh, come on. No, did I get that? Man, talk host advantage. That still is really frustrating, I imagine, for him. But this idea that we both found it late, but then he was like a little bit closer to the claim that Clark had secured, I don't really know what you do about that. That was going to make one of us mad no matter what, though. You know what I mean? Grab that water patch. Not going to worry about silicon just yet. The price is actually pretty low. So what else can I do? Can I just go into power right away? Get away with that a little bit, maybe? Like just bam bam right here? Can transition it later pretty easily due to scavengeriness.
Scientific colony expanded.
Maybe that's okay. We've got to get that water pump down though, regardless of anything else.
Underground nuclear explosion device for sale.
A nuke is actually pretty good in some ways. I would not want to have a nuke turned against me right now, so I feel the need to bid on this. That's really annoying that that came up. Like, it's okay, but it's annoying. Alright, we'll see what happens. I'm gonna go to 12 here. Can I go higher? Yeah, I think I can, actually. This is starting to really push. I think I have to let this go now. And where's it gonna hit? Nowhere yet, apparently. We'll just wait and see. Alright. I'm nervous about using all this carbon instead of selling it right away, I'll be honest. Maybe I just use a little bit and then start selling down to get into this glass that I'm gonna need. Ah, man, I do have an extra claim now. I don't know what to do with that in particular. I guess what I could do, actually, is something super dumb. And go something like glass right here. I'll even sell down glass to make it happen, sure. And then not worry about power just yet. Be like, alright, I've got enough power that I'll be okay. And if I can, I would love to push to this claim right here. There it is. I got it done. Okay, we're good. I think we're okay. I think we're reasonably set up at this point. We're not perfect just yet. But we're in a good enough spot that I think we can get through upgrades at least. Without too much trouble. These guys should be auto-supplying. That's good. And now we mostly just sit and wait. Make glass. Silicon is spiking a lot harder than I expected it to. Right away? Okay, and now it just came back down. Somebody was just trying to hold silicon up. Is what it looks like. Somebody was like keeping that price suspended. Kind of fighting back against me is what it felt like. Clark's a little ahead on upgrades, but that's okay, because we've done a bunch of extra stuff with like new claims and such. So that should be alright. Keep selling down water. Keep selling down glass. And we should get there before long. There it is. No problem. Okay. Okay. We're reasonably well set up. Might go into a little extra water. People are already in food, so we definitely don't want to do that. Alright, a mutiny attempt happened. That's fine. I just want to get these reactors down and keep going. I am a little nervous about silicon because we've got glass furnaces down and I haven't bothered to secure any decent silicon this game. But I think it's okay. We're just going to have to see what happens, really, honestly. But I think it'll be okay. We're getting into those reactors that nobody else is in, and that's definitely a big deal, a huge swing in our favor. There are extra claims if I want to secure additional silicon later. I just have to be a little bit careful about how much glass I sell, I think. Like, these reactors are going to have to get work done, but they definitely can get work done. We'll just have to see what happens. As soon as they start up, they should be able to mostly sustain themselves. Like, just selling down fuel and oxygen should kind of help keep everything alive right here, especially the fuel.
I hate those filthy
Pirate spotted, targeting somebody's food. That's good. That's good, that's good, that's good. Would not mind an extra claim at this point. Still don't really want to sell glass unless I absolutely have to, as that will help other people expand a bit more easily. And I would like to avoid that situation for reasons that should be obvious to anybody. Obviously, you don't want your opponents expanding. I mean, okay, glass is actually losing money, so we've got to turn that off. We're still not going to sell any of it. Do I upgrade or do I grab a claim? I think I'm going to grab a claim and use that to get into silicon. Could have upgraded, chose not to, very specifically. You can see people are actually like really focusing on making that silicon price an issue for me right now, and are punishing my 2 glass furnaces. I don't know why people are trying so hard to punish my 2 glass furnaces right now, but it definitely feels like that's what's going on.
Scientific colony expanded.
Other people expanding and keeping up, that's fine. That's fine. I've got 4 claims left. I need to really decide what to do with them, quite frankly. One of them is going to go into silicon, actually, which means another one can hit glass. Food is staying surprisingly high to me. I'm honestly surprised that food is staying quite as high as it is right now. I could start on chems. The other option is to just do something real dumb and go into a couple engineering labs back here. Or maybe just some power and an engineering lab, like power right there. A lab here. Go ahead and grab a goon for it. I don't know if 3 glass furnaces was actually the right call, but it felt right. I was going into some extra silicon. I don't know if it was actually the right call, though. Upgrade is real expensive. Let's check Offworlds. I haven't really investigated that yet this game. They're not great. They're not going to be great this game. They are usable. We can bid on this. We've got reasonable debt. We're going to be okay if we pick up a little bit more. That's not going to be an issue. Food is the best Offworld, but it's not fantastic. It's not fantastic. I am going to want this bit of water right here, long term. Claims did kind of skyrocket, but I think I've already picked up 3. So maybe that's okay. And this is going to be another one for 20,000. That's a bit expensive, but it's definitely usable right now. I did finally get nuked on my carbon, but that's okay because we're not HQ 5 yet. So I think we can sustain that hit. We all knew the nuke was going to hit me. Let's not kid ourselves about that. The nuke was going to come slamming in right here, no question. Should this be a patent lab? Actually turns into the question, and maybe it should. Maybe it should be a patent lab. Maybe that's all right. Making good money on water at this point, no question. Like, real good money on water. Which means the electrolysis isn't as strong, but we still have glass going, which is great. Our power is power, you know. It's enough. It is a lot of claims in power. Clark is rushed up to 5, which is real interesting to me. And maybe we would just want to try and keep up very quickly by doing something like that and hitting that upgrade. That'll let us keep up in claims at minimum. We can grab an extra carbon to make sure we're going to be able to sustain ourselves. Carbon's up to $100 a piece right now, but we're going to have plenty of that coming in. Mutiny hits where? On my aluminum. That's understandable. Aluminum's actually pretty good right now. But maybe we just fix the whole mess by doing that. Being like, alright, I'll take it, jerk. And chems are starting to look pretty solid. fairly soon. Glass is still going great. Water's all right. An extra engineering lab, or an engineering lab, probably wouldn't hurt. Just right in here. Got that patent office running. Alright. I think we're okay for the time being. Not really looking for an Offworld right away. Not looking for one right now. That's just not where I'm headed at the moment. Let's go ahead and look at getting these chem labs down. Dump them where? Up here? Down here? This is a hard choice, actually. I think I'm going to put them down here. That should be alright. Now I'm going to start doing the same thing Clark's doing. You can see he's a little ahead of me, but hopefully we've taken some edges in allowing him to take that lead. That'll kind of compensate a bit. Those extra claims we've purchased, that patent lab we've got down, the engineering lab we've started. All those kind of minor things can play a pretty big role. There are holograms available, so I need to pay attention to that idea. I got hit by a power surge, unfortunately. People were paying real close attention, and I got hit very quickly. Grab that, okay. There is a hologram out somewhere, and I don't know where. So I gotta have that in the back of my mind this whole time. I'm actually gonna grab another goon. This freeze onto my chems hurts, but it's not the end of the world. Because I'm not seeing other chems out and about. My water is getting pirated, which is just weird in my opinion, but whatever. And let's actually just grab up Superconductor. I think that could work out pretty well for us, if we manage to pick it up. Asimov's probably not going for it either, so that's kind of nice in that hopefully I'm staying out of his way, he's staying out of my way, we're not really interfering with each other for the most part. And I could go ahead and grab a hologram at some point. I could grab a network virus. Network virus could actually do pretty good work. I'm going to take that. It's pretty cheap right now. Carbon is getting kind of cheap at the moment. And I really wish I had electronics set aside right now. That would kind of be a big deal. We'll see what we can do about it, though. We'll see. We'll see what we can make happen. That chem production is going to be so good when it finally turns online. I'm going to sell down electronics to make sure I can make that happen. And then buy up electronics here.
Market is online.
Hopefully we'll be alright. Patent Lab isn't functional right now. I should really do something about that, honestly. I've got carbon scrubbing. That should help out a bit. I don't know if I actually needed it, but it should help out. Let's see. What else can I get that would be actually really useful? Maybe just virtual reality and get out of it. Maybe that's okay. The chems are finally coming in. That is a huge deal, the fact that the chems are coming in. I do have a slowdown strike ready to go. Okay, interesting, interesting, interesting. The glass probably isn't so hot, so I'm going to move out of that and on into food at this point. There's a dust storm going, but long term that should work out okay anyways. Get all those bought up. Virtual reality is coming, which is great. Go ahead and dump that down there. I'm probably going to do this, get that down, right? That costs some electronics, but whatever. It's going to happen. Let's see, let's see. Let's go ahead and get some food production started here. Another big freeze that definitely hurts. I probably should have secured a goon squad over there if I was going to keep those buildings like that. Unfortunately, when you put yourself against a cliff as a scavenger so you can actually abuse your power benefit, you do end up vulnerable to things like power surges frequently. It's just the way it is. Did I put the hologram? I'm sure I bought a hologram at some point. Did I put it down? Maybe I didn't buy a hologram like I thought I did. I meant to. That was a thing that was supposed to happen. And it didn't. Cold fusion sounds okay. It's not a huge deal, though. I probably should have let it go for 14, because nobody's going to take it for 18. And I didn't really want it. I was just kind of trying to drive the price higher, and I didn't think about it in time to really get something done, unfortunately. Appropriately. We'll just see what happens, though. Alright. Slam that down. For fairly obvious reasons, one would think. Grab that. Once again, obvious reasons. Slowdown strikes do go through goons at this point. That is an important thing to be aware of. Definitely an important thing to know about. Okay. We're not in a great spot. Like, we're not super far ahead of anybody. Why did that only freeze? Did that freeze all of them? Why wouldn't it have if it didn't? That's very strange. This one is still working. That was a power surge. I don't know what happened there. Soren! Soren, bad things happened. Be here, look at them. They're important. Alright, I'm gonna grab this guy. Just to try and keep an eye on people. And let's get started. That'll do for now.
We caught a dirty rat trying to break
Yep,
our
people
stuff.
are paying attention, unfortunately.
We're not surprised, just disappointed in you.
I'm trying, guys. It's a little bit of a weird one. Trying to get a handle on it is a bit interesting. If I can get a fair amount of my stock secured with any luck, I'll be okay long term. I maybe should have picked up nanotech. I was kind of expecting carbon to come down eventually, but since mine keeps getting frozen, or mine's been frozen, it's been attacked, that's created a bit of an odd situation in that area, so it hasn't happened just yet. Okay, oxygen's launching, which is great. I want to secure a little bit more of my own stock, but not too much, actually. I don't want to get into my own stock too much more. I do keep getting frozen. This is why I was nervous about putting my good production together, because I knew that long term that was going to be my good production, and I would want to protect it, but I just was not able to.
A new claim is available for auction.
I'm going to wait on that.
Bidding will begin at
8,000.
We can get a new claim. It's not a huge deal either way. I'm a little nervous about these. Thankfully, they were kind of extra, so maybe it's not the end of the world what's going on right now, but it is a little awkward.
14,000.
That's still gooned. Okay.
16,000. 18,000. 20,000.
We'll push it to 20. I think we have the debt to handle that. I think we're okay there, actually.
Your stock is being
Asimov's actually going after our stock. I was not expecting that. I was not expecting Asimov to get cheeky immediately. But I think we're okay nonetheless. That does let me, if I want to, try and get another Offworld down, actually. This extra claim, that may be what it's used for. Is getting that Offworld down. Or, actually, a lot better immediately might be another engineering lab. I've only got one of those. I really prefer running on 2 if I can pull it off. Alright, Asimov. If that's the way you want to play, that's the way we're going to play. This has got to stop launching oxygen and start launching food. I meant to do that last time and I didn't. We're mostly relying on the off-world launches in the moment while we kind of wait for our buildings to unfreeze.
I hate those filthy bandits. Look at all the money.
Just going to sell down everything. I really would like to get that last little bit of my own stock. And then I need at least one more in Asimov. And maybe I'll be okay at that point. I think I'll be okay at that point. It's hard to be 100% sure. Let's see. I was going to do that, and then I forgot. Let's send another food for sure. Why did I switch to oxygen again? I think I screwed everything up here. I think I was thinking about last game instead of this game's prices, and everything got messed up in my head. And I created a dumb situation for myself. Okay. Let's upgrade glass a little bit. Yeah, I think I made a really stupid mistake in there somewhere. I am getting into Asimov fairly effectively, which is great. I do have access to the black market. I just need to actually buy something there. Which I know what I meant to buy. It's going to be that guy.
Off-world shipment launched.
Cancel that. Make sure those are both going. Sell that down. Thank you very much. And once again, we're okay. We're not in a great spot, but we do have reasonable stock secured. I'm worried about Clark and their position relative to Herbert, so I feel like I need to slow that down, if at all possible. They got a really big boost off of the aluminum spike that occurred. That was a really huge deal for them.
The black
And I
market
am
is
worried about what
online.
it's going to do to me long term. The glass is kind of working. It's a little awkward. It's a little awkward, but it's kind of working. I would love to push to another Offworld if I could afford it. I do kind of have 2 running right now, so maybe that's not the end of the world. I really want to keep Clark shut down while I work on killing off Asimov, though. Those are kind of like the 2 combined goals that I have right now. Thankfully, I think I'm in a decent spot in tech. This glass research is working out all right for the time being. The Offworlds are still launching. I could build another one, maybe. I'd have to buy the claim for it, but I can make that happen. Even with a hologram here. Oh, I'm going to do it. I'm going for it. Alright. There we go. Now, anybody paying attention should know that just happened. But I'm kind of okay with it because I have carbon scrubbing. Which is really creating an awkward situation for everybody else, hopefully. However, I think we're kind of pushing to that point where I need to stop making electronics. They're not all that good. Get into food. Start pushing into oxygen, if at all possible. All that sort of thing could be a pretty big deal here. Not quite yet. That's okay. The chems are still going all right. They're not great either, though. So maybe I can transition them in a moment here. Maybe even just send them into food, too. Maybe that'd be okay. I wish I had nanotech for this. I'd feel a lot more comfortable in this play with nanotech. Okay. What do I need? I need 405. That's my current goal. I think I can get there. The other option is to just turn
Let this be a lesson to you all.
on a
Screw
dime
us, and we screw with
and try and make this happen right here. Whew. Alright. We shut down blues way more effectively than I thought we did. To be honest.
Market is online.
Wasn't ready for that, but that's okay. Let's get some water research done. We've got 3 of those. All 3 of them running would be fantastic. Freeze came down. It missed the Offworld, which is great. Let's make sure plenty of those are launching for us. 2 food, 1 oxygen looks okay. Now let's check the food. We have plenty of food production. We have plenty of electrolysis going on right now. We need to just shut it all down and make money on the water. With any luck, that's all right. Look at how much water we have pouring in. Somebody has brought that water price up very, very far. However... Oh, I gotta sell power. Shoot, look at that. Come on, superconductor. Do your job for me. Look at that. Look at that. Pay down debt. Paying debt so fast with that superconductor. It's great. And I think I need to turn some of these into chems. Should be great. Let's see. The glass can come back online whenever it wants to. That's fine. Not going to worry about another Offworld. I'm just going to worry about getting these buys done on whoever has the most money, which looks like Asimov. Asimov, I also think, pushed into tech faster than Herbert did, which is another great reason to focus him down. Because it means he'll have more tech, which makes him more dangerous in the late game. Now, some of these guys might have Offworlds that I'm unaware of. Like, this looks like an Offworld, right? That definitely looks like an Offworld. This doesn't look like an Offworld, but it might be an Offworld. But he has no money. He's, like, desperately trying to pay down debt, so I don't need to worry about him, because he literally can't do anything. I did get hit by a network virus somewhere that I'm not going to worry about. Let's get all these turned back on. We've killed things effectively enough. You are dead. That is fair. Somebody finally noticed, or are people happy in chat that I finally noticed to sell power? Yeah, that was kind of a big deal. Probably should have done it faster. I am going to push for the Asimov buy for fairly obvious reasons. If he wants to sell out to make it faster, that's fine. But this game is over.
Look at all the money.
I'm just going to assume most of my stuff is making money and not worry about it too much. I'm not going to worry about research because, well, the game should be over momentarily regardless, and it's just not necessary. I'm just waiting on these launches, waiting on this food to pour in. Or he can just hit the concede button, and that's fine too. Oh, man. People so upset with me about power. It's understandable. I should have been selling power a lot earlier than I was, probably. On the other hand, counterpoint. This doesn't mean this is necessarily what I would have done, but it is fair that the reason I won that game quite so effectively at the end is because of all the debt Blues had. And if I had been selling power, Blues wouldn't have had as much debt, right? That is just something to think about. Sorry, I've got information here from my wife about meeting with the in-laws tonight. That I've got to look at real quick, and we'll hop back into it. Sorry about that. I don't know, guys. I was a little bit worried. I was really surprised that a scavenger founded here. I had decided pretty early on that the order I preferred everything in was going to be, I think, like this scavenger spot, this expansive spot, this science spot, and then this science spot. Like, I like where everybody picked this game. I think we got the 4 places, but I was really surprised at the scavenger found right here. I don't know what happened there. Like, is Blues in the chat? Blues is, I don't know if Blues is in the chat or not, but I was really surprised at the scavenger found. I would have definitely dropped expansive right in here and then tried to grab this iron. And if that didn't pan out, that's okay because you're expansive and you can reach far for resources as expansive a bit more easily because your stuff all moves faster. So that's all right. You could have grabbed this iron, stuff like that. You want this iron. That's just right next to you. It's nice, easy, just a couple of iron, whatever. But there was available stuff. This scavenger found really threw me off. And he kind of made it work. But you can see he's got like carbon. I'm assuming these were his. Like carbon here, carbon here, carbon here. All very awkward to me. And I'm hoping he wasn't hoping for this little scavenger spot. Because that just was never going to work out, you know? So I don't know what happened there. But that's definitely not what I would have done. There's also the argument that there are a couple geotherms nearby onto this spot, like one there, one kind of there, one down here, another one up there, all reasonably close for geotherms. And expansive use geotherms very well, in my opinion, compared to other colony types. So I don't know what the deal was there. Anyways, let's go back. Let's look, just because people like looking at it. 223k on the Pleasure Dome, apparently. A fair amount on power, despite not selling it for a long time. That was a weird one. I don't know how to feel about that. I did end up regretting putting down my resources exactly like this and never having a goon squad to protect them because I made them expensive and I focused them on special buildings. But it did kind of work out. Because the Offworlds are what won me the game. Combined with Blues just kind of dying. I don't know. I don't know how to assess that one, guys. It felt like we had carbon. We did our upgrades. We got to make a quick little stopover in Patent Labville and then transition into engineering labs. And I think, actually, the single biggest thing that turned that game, because I'm trying to figure it out in my head, why did I win that one, was this right here. Now, I bought a claim right toward the end in order to put down another Offworld and still get to maintain my territory, right? But before that, if you look at it differently, like within the first, 3 HQ levels, I paid $12,000 and I got an extra minor colony level out of it worth of claims, right? And I just paid a little bit. I just paid a little bit of cash, just $12,500. I think that's what turned the game, honestly. I think it was the claims. I think it was the early game claims that did it. Because we can see other people got claims, but even if you count like these 2 claims, each of them, they cost more than my other claims, than my 3 claims, right? Like, he paid $15,000 each for these claims right here. $15,000 a piece for a claim. He paid much less, much less, right? At $8,500 a claim. Whereas if you just count my initial 3 that I had for most of the game, I paid like $4,000 a claim on average. I think that's what won the game. I like to try and go through and figure that out if I can, especially if I win and I don't understand why. I think that's what did it. That was the big thing, because that's what let me get into the special buildings and still maintain enough production that I was okay. I think that was the core play. Alright, let's hop out of there.